everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 12th of March. If you are new here, please subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hit the like buttons, guys, and I will just get started. We'll see what comes up. Oh, there's so much happening, isn't there, guys? I told you guys, elbows over there, shaking hands with India, America, and sushi over in England. So look out for him. You'll get a little guest appearance by Elbow. All right, let's see what comes up. God, I'm getting these government leaders now are getting very cunning. Now, when I think of cunning, I think of a fox. I tend to think of a fox. I live in the country and there's a lot of foxes. Sadly, some of them are roadkill. But I saw one the other day when I was actually driving to the next town. There was one on the side of the road and it absolutely froze. It froze like a statue. It was like frozen like that. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Even my girlfriend said that was so weird because you very rarely see foxes in the daytime. They usually are nocturnal. They come out at night. So it was very unusual to see one. And honestly, it was like he completely froze because he didn't want anyone to see him, but you could see him. He was just standing on the side of the road. But this is what I'm getting for the global elites. It's like they're standing still so nobody sees them. They're being very cunning now. They're only coming out at the appropriate times where people won't see them. So this is their rollout. See, they don't want people waking up again. Here we are again. So they're having to work on how they can be more cunning moving forward, how they can be more sneaky. You know how foxes get the chickens all the time, that you always hear of a massive fox kill with chickens. They're very sneaky. And they take the chickens, for example, down by stealth, meaning the little people. So they're being more cunning now. They're being more clever in their manipulation and they're sort of hiding from view because they don't want people waking up. I keep saying it. So these government leaders and that are being like the fox. They're being more cunning. And that's a word that I would associate with a fox. They're very sneaky and very cunning. Well, you know who is Trudeau, just an example of a fox, a very sneaky, cunning fox, although he gets caught out a bit, doesn't he? So that's just the visual that I'm getting. I'm getting that song. We always have to get a song here. Oh my God. I'm getting that song, Fox on the Run, and making everybody's on and not away. Fox on the Run. So I'm getting Fox on the Run. This is the government elites that they sort of creep in and then they run. So I'm just getting that song, Fox on the Run. It's an old song. Do you remember that song, guys? God, it's so old. Fox on the Run. That's so old. We get so many old songs here. Oh my God, guys. Showing our age, aren't we? Oh, so that's what I'm getting for these government elites. They have to be more cunning and more clever and sneaky, I guess is the word. All right, let's see where else we go. England's rising to their feet. They're rising to their feet. This is so good. En masse. People are standing up. They're fighting back. They're getting their courage. This is the sleepwalkers. They're not going to take it lying down. Oh, God, it's a miracle. Miracles happen, guys. I'm getting the song for some of these sleepwalkers, some of them, not all. The song, We're Not Going to Take It. We're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. Well, I think they're not going to take it anymore because they've pretty much hit rock bottom, most of them. So as we have always been saying here for the last few years, people will fight back when they've got nothing else to lose. So pretty much that's where the people in the UK, England, that's where they all are at the moment. They don't want to take it anymore. They think they've taken enough. They've taken enough of they need to ditch that one, don't they? The pincushion event. All right, let's see where else we go. So you might have a lot of protest strikes, fight backs. Gosh, they're really pushing. Aren't they pushing the 15-minute, 20-minute cities over there in the UK? It's nuts. They're just sneaking it onto every suburb. It's just going to keep waking people. Domino effect, it's going to happen. And And see, the thing is, like, globally, you got to picture it. I always talk to you about us gutless Australians down here. They think it won't happen to them. So if they turn away and don't look and do the denial bubble suit things again, it's not going to happen to them. But unfortunately, it is going to happen to them. Because as all of us here know, these are not trials. These are things that Sushi and his little plebs are implementing. Oh, God. They're not trials. They're permanent. Oh, how's that thing? Did you check out? I meant to post it on I'll post on my Facebook page where Sushi talks about the modern day slavery. We do have to question. And I don't think they just meant with the immigrants, to be honest. I think they're trying to turn us all into slaves. That's just my viewpoint anyway. The modern day slavery is the Great Reset, really, if you think about it. That's how I see it anyway. All right, let's see where else we go. America. Ooh. I'm getting that David Bowie song, Mick Jagger song again. America, Australia, France, dancing in the streets. I'm getting that dancing in the streets again, meaning people are standing up, they're rising up, they're finding their power to fight back against their governments, because that song's about the world sort of coming together and dancing in the streets and fighting back, really. See, to me, dancing in the streets is about your freedom and getting your freedom back, and you're able to celebrate and dance in the streets. So I'm getting that for a lot of these areas. God, America, you need to dance in the streets, don't you? It's been ridiculous what's been happening to you guys over there. Oh, my God. Hang on a minute. Oh, God, I'm getting America a huge amount of job losses now. This is becoming really obvious now to the little people in America. There is massive, 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 massive job loss. And also there's no wage rises. So people know that these things aren't balanced. See, the cost of living is going up, blah, 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 but there's no wage rises. People's pays aren't going up. So how do they afford to live? See, people are seeing it. It's becoming so obvious now that the scale is tipping. Government is up here, and the little people are just getting dropped down here. And they're going to slide off the slide if they don't fight back. So I am getting that for America. Oh, God, it's just a nightmare. People in America are exhausted. They're tired from all this. Things are really plummeting now. We've hit that tipping point, the turning point, where things are crashing. They're starting to crash. Oh, God. Due to the reset rollout. People are having a conniption. That's what it's saying to me. People can't believe their government is doing this to them. And the thing is, what these people are questioning too is, why is their government doing this to them? Why are they ruining their lives? Why are they taking them down? See, you got to remember, these people felt they did all the right things. They saved everybody. They got the jab wheel. They were all these good boys and girls who did everything right. And now it's like their government has turned on them. We knew that was going to happen, didn't we, guys? So now they're realising that their government, like I keep saying, never gave a rat's razoo about them. All right, let's keep going. I'm getting China. I'm getting China's going to default on some things, like it's not loans. It's political power again, but I feel like China's going to default on supplying certain countries, certain resources. I feel like they're going to default. They're going to pull the pin on it, because again, as we know here, and we keep saying, China wants political power. So if they default, that means people are dependent on them and they have to go and look somewhere else. So that's a way of getting control again, of frightening people, frightening countries, not people rather, that, well, we can withhold our products and goods, services and products at any time, which leaves you with nothing. So this is how they gain their power. Again, it's that intimidation, the control. That's how China works. They like to dominate. So I'm getting that they might default on a few, I guess you could say, like contracts, goods and services exchanges on a big scale, obviously. And it's like they don't need to give a reason. Like they feel like they don't need to give a reason. Like if that country is not supporting China, for example, they'll scratch them off their list, and they're not going to supply them. That's just what I'm getting. God, I'm getting, I don't even know if this is related, but I am getting fuel shortages. There's a lot of manipulation going on, but China's having a big say in a lot. This is globally as well. And they'll default on a few, well, it's saying deals and contracts. They will kind of default, leaving certain countries in the dark, or maybe in the dark, literally, but in the dark, meaning, well, if you haven't got our backs, we're not going to support you. That's kind of what I'm getting from China, which is no surprise to us. That's what we would expect, isn't it? Okay, let's see where else we go. I'm getting New Zealand. I'm getting that Hippo's back. If anyone's new here, that's Chris Hipkins. We call him Hippo here. That's his nickname. Hippo's back. See, to him, it feels like his country fell apart for a little bit with the floods. I think he had some tremors too over there. Just the whole Jacinda Ardern changeover too. Hippo lost his way a little bit, but now he's getting back on track. So I am feeling like you're going to be hearing a bit more from Hippo. He's going to try and take all this to the next level now. Again, it's renewables. We talked about the climate change. You might get a few more activists over there. I'm just getting that renewables. He's really wanting to push this out now. But like I said yesterday, people globally are so confused about this whole renewables thing. I referred to it as being a jumble sale, like a garage sale where nothing fits together. Well, that's pretty much it. So Hippo's going to come and try and come out rather. Oh my God, I can't talk this morning. He's going to come out and try to direct the people in the direction that he wants them to go, the way he wants this to unfold. So Hippo's got this plan. I feel like he's a fairly organized kind of person. I do feel like he's trying to portray... well, we call him Fozzie Bear sometimes here on my channel, guys, out of the Muppets, if anyone remembers him. But he's trying to portray that he's really in control of his country and he absolutely knows what he's doing. Because he feels like that's going to give the people confidence over there in New Zealand. That if your leader knows what he's doing and where this is all heading, then you will automatically want to follow him because you'll feel like you have faith in him. So that's what I'm getting. He's gonna focus on... What's he going to focus on? He's going to put things into this order of necessity. Oh God, we know it's going back to the greenhouse gas emissions or whatever it is. It's going, well, we're talking cowbirds, farmers again. Well, and you might even get the advertising campaigns. Like if we're, like we all have, well, we know, we all have to do our little bit. Oh yes, work together. We've heard that before. We're all in this together, aren't we? Well, this is what Hippo's going to do. He's going to start to do like the advertising campaigns. Do your little bit and you can make a difference to your future moving forward. In renewable energy, you're going to get bombarded, I think, with ads and him talking about it. I do feel like you're going to get him talking about how wonderful it's all going to be moving forward. I just can't believe these leaders just go with it. Like they could ditch it at any time and say, no, we're not doing that crap. But they don't. Obviously, they get huge kickbacks from it. We all know that. They're obviously getting big, big payouts because why would you just destroy your own country with all this nonsense? So I do feel you're about to get bombarded with all the renewables. Digital ID in New Zealand, I think, might come like a bit later in the year. I think he's going to coast along a little bit because he doesn't want to bombard people. I don't think, being new in his position, I don't think he wants to overwhelm people. He just might fight back, so we know that. He knows they did for Jabcinda, sorry. So I feel like he's going to spread this out a little bit. he wants to get the renewables right. I feel like that's the focus in New Zealand at the moment. And he's got the perfect reason. Look at the floods, the weather. Oh, yes, this is all causing all this disruption to our lives, all this terrible. We've got to get on top of the renewables to improve our standard of living. That's what he's going to do. Oh, I'm so over all this. I know you guys are too. All right, let's see where else we go. I told you we got the CV virus running rampant again here in Australia. It's been on TV. Honestly, does anyone even listen to that crap anymore? Can't believe people still go and get boosted and jabbed and all that. Nuts. All right, anyway, enough of me and my opinions. Okay, back to the reading. Getting Germany and France. We know here on my channel, Germany and France have been having huge protests, massive. Did you see I posted a video in Brussels, guys, of all the farm tractors? It was unreal. Go check it out on my Facebook page, Chrissy Fitzgerald Psychic Life Coach. Oh, just brilliant. Thousands and thousands of farm trucks just driving along, protesting. I love it. So Germany and France still fighting back. Some heated exchanges, I'm still getting that. Could be in Paris. We know Macron hit hard. Germany's had a lot going on over there. I'm still getting that. Of course, nothing on mainstream media as per usual, but I am getting the fight backs are continuing. It's saying people aren't resting on their laurels. They're up and they're fighting. Like, it's almost like they know this is it. This is where they have to make their stance. See, people realize when they've got nothing left to lose, they'll stand up and fight. So that's what I've got for Germany and France. And it's probably saying that more people are coming on board now. People who have been denying these things are now starting to come on board and seeing some of the truths and reality in it in these parts. All right, hang on. Gosh, they're showing me the Statue of Liberty again. Often on this channel we get the Statue of Liberty, which is really about freedom. We've had the Statue of Liberty a lot of time where the flame is burning bright. And it's that, if you think of the Statue of Liberty, it's an independent figure. They'll probably make it an LGBTIQ figure soon. They'll probably change the name of it or something like that. It's so ridiculous, isn't it, the world we're living in? So I'm getting that statue, like, stand alone in your strength, your power, fight for that freedom. I'm still getting that symbol today. I'm just getting the visual of, well, that's the symbol I'm getting for 2023. It's that fight for freedom, liberty. I'm getting the Statue of Liberty. Hang on. I'm getting pilots, that pilots are being downgraded in positions because of, we know why, blood clots, heart conditions, myocarditis, you name it, all forced to have the jab, mandated. I think that was pretty much globally, in nearly every country. Well, some of those are being stood down now because of the dangers. See, a lot of this is hidden. We don't know about the half of it. We don't know when something might have happened on board and the other co-pilots had to take over. We don't know these things because they're never going to freaking talk about it. And now they have to pass all these very rigorous, is it the word, health checks. So I do feel like there's a lot more being grounded and giving different positions. And I bet they don't mandate the new pilots that are getting trained up and coming through, because they'll know there'll be a pattern to all this and we know what's caused it. So I am getting that. Gosh, imagine if... I still think about all the blood clots on that movie, Died Suddenly. Like, imagine if people knew that, like, if one day they got told they can't fly because they've all got blood clots. God, they'd absolutely flip out, because most of them got the jab just so they could have their freedom and fly around. Oh, these things are still probable. Don't think that that's not a probability, because that could happen down the track. We know they didn't want us moving around. Ooh, anyway, I am getting that. The more pilots have been affected. For some reason, they're giving me Greece. Maybe there's some incidences in Greece that perhaps they're coming together and they're filing lawsuits. That could be happening. I am getting that. I'm getting Greece as I talk about that. Greece, Italy. I'm getting Spain, Portugal, Madrid, just some of these areas. Maybe there are movements coming together in some of these regions. I don't know. I just tell you whatever comes through sometimes because it might mean something to somebody. All right, let's see where else we go. Yeah, I'm just getting that there's no relief in sight. Oh, we knew it was coming, guys. We knew this was the year of the shift, the great awakening, because there is no relief in sight. These government leaders are going to keep pushing the little people and taking them down, to nothing. And we know that's the goal. That's basically the goal this year, is for them to push against the little people and squash them. That's pretty much it. And that's the current energy, is just there's no relief. There's no relief. See, there's nothing for people to look forward to. They can't afford to go out for dinner now. They can't go on their holidays. They can't hardly go to the movies. Have you noticed how quiet movies are getting? I like going to the movies, but there's getting less and less people there. How are you going to take a family to the movies and buy popcorn and all that? You're not going to be able to. People are probably ditching their coffees because coffee's going up. Gosh, I get coffee at a few different places, and one place is going to put it up by 50 cents. That's a fair bit. If you're getting a coffee every day, that's an extra couple of bucks you got to find every week for your coffees. So they're going to have to put that on because of freight costs and all this. We know how it goes. It just keeps all compounding. So no relief is what I'm getting. We knew that though, so we're prepared, luckily. Fortunately, guys, we see a lot of this coming and we are able to prepare. Because even when you're prepared in the mind, it makes you handle things better. You don't get so shocked and overwhelmed. You just kind of go, oh yeah, here we go. Like you have a bit of a giggle, if anything, even though it is not great. It's going to affect everyone too. All right, let's see if there's something to close with today. God, they're showing me this visual, and they're showing me this visual of us, you guys watching my channel, and we're making these like time capsules. I don't know if you guys have ever done a time capsule. They're not real big. Some people do them. I think in America you do them a bit, don't you? And you put little bits and bobs in, like maybe from your childhood or a newspaper or something of significance, and you put it in this time capsule and you put it away, and then hopefully in 10, 20 years or 30 years, your children find it and they open it up and they get to read a paper from 30 years ago, or they find a little toy, might be a little model toy or something that has meaning, or a badge or a brooch or something just meaningful. And it takes you back to what was currently happening at that time. And that's what I'm getting for us. This journey we've been going through just feels that unrealistic that it's almost like it's showing me, it's like we've opened a time capsule and this is what we're seeing. It's like, it just doesn't feel real. It's like it's from a whole different era. It's showing us like putting the current newspaper in. And like I keep saying to you guys, newspapers are going to become a thing of the past down the track, not just yet, but I reckon in a couple of years we won't see the black and white newspapers, things like that. So, you know, what the guides are kind of saying to us, like put some things away. I mean, you could literally do this. You don't have to, but you could literally put like a newspaper all about the pandemic. Oh, we call ours the Terrabilla Express, our newspaper, don't we? But I think I called it the COVID, what did I call it? The COVID Express? I can't even remember. I have so many things on this channel. But the newspaper with about the pandemic and all this kind of crap, because in like 20, 30 years time, people will not even believe that this happened. They won't even believe it because it's that bizarre. This is what the guides are saying, you know, even the masks, like the masks and all the PPS gear and all the syringes and all the crap and the PCR tests, like all this stuff. Like you could almost put it in a time capsule and it'd end up one day. I guess what they're kind of, sorry, I'm trying to get to what they're trying to say. What they're trying to say is this will end up in a museum. It'll end up like, they're showing me like a war memorial, like a virus memorial, or like a museum. And there's going to be all this like really crazy just crap in there about this stupid virus. And it'll end up being, well, eventually it's going to be found out that it was made in a lab and it was man-made, and there's going to be all these boxes of PCR tests in the display cabinet. That's what it's showing me. And syringes, all kinds of masks. You had to have, and it'll have, oh, this is strange. This is why we're getting the time capsule thing, because it's like looking back, and it's going to have, be like a museum about the big pandemic, and the world got hit with the pandemic. And it won't just be about the pandemic, it'll be about other things as well. But this is just what I'm getting. Like, people will look back and, like, this is our, like, great-grandchildren probably, and they'll look back and they'll be reading this story about there was a big apparent conspiracy and big cover-up, but it ended up being the truth, and the virus was actually made in a man-made lab. This is just what they're showing. God, it's almost like something you could see in Ripley's Believe It or Not, isn't it? Like, has anyone been to Ripley's Believe It or Not? We've got one here on the Gold Coast, and I think there's one in Sydney. Oh, they're so funny. He traveled the world and found all these, like, bizarre things, and they're all in this big museum. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting for this CV virus event. It's just going to become like a thing of the past eventually. And because the truth will come out. It will. And it's all going to explain how it was in a lab leak, and then all the people were terrified, and they were forced to wear all these masks and locked in their homes, and they'll have photos of, like, people in China, like, locked in their homes with their gates on the front of their buildings and all this. This is just what I'm getting. I'm getting that it's going to end up just like a time capsule that our grandkids will look back at and go, wow, this was just, I hope, and this is what I'm getting, guys, is that it's all our fights for freedom that are going to make the difference and turn this into the museum, because it's going to be just so surreal to people moving forward. Maybe in 10, 20 years' time, not right at the moment because people are still stuck in it. But I am going to get that this was like some horrific journey that people went through. I guess you could put it down to, like, the war museums and things like that, or the Ripley's Believe It or Not. This kind of thing is going to become like the COVID pandemic museum or something like that. Oh, God, couldn't you just create some images with that? Let me know if you got any thoughts for that down below, what would end up being in that. But I just think that's an interesting thought. They're actually showing me the glass cabinetry with everything labelled and everything behind it. Oh, my God. And lots of photos, lots of visuals of... They're showing me photos, like big, large photos on the walls of cars queued up to get those nasal swab tests done, the PCR tests, is that what they're called? Like, there were queues and queues went for miles of people lined up. And like, basically what the outcome will be is that it was all for nothing. It was all about nothing. It was actually the common cold and the flu. That's what I would love to have written at the end of the story, in the museum, the COVID museum, the pandemic museum. Oh, and then they'd have the monkeypox and all the things. Omicron just swept through like a big wave. Oh my God. And then, you know what I'd love them to have in that museum too is the graphs of how people were having a few heart attacks, but then all of a sudden when they started getting the jabs and all the bioweapons, suddenly the graph went completely up and people were having heart attacks. Myocarditis went through the roof. And these bioweapons were affecting people's lives. I'd love that to happen. I'd love there to be a museum with all the facts. Just part of history, isn't it? Anyway, that's what I'm getting. Enough of the museum and Ripley's Believe It or Not pandemic COVID. Oh, God. This could happen, guys. This could happen. The guides think it's funny as. Because we all know it's BS. Don't we? Anyway. It's some food for thought, guys. Let me know if you got anything to put in them, any thoughts for the museum, but they're the visuals I got. I can see that happening, I really can. All right, let's see what there is to close with today. Oh, they're saying to me that show. Have you ever heard of the show Horrible Histories? They're saying this was a horrible part of history. It sure was. We're still living it. I'm having a nightmare. All right, hang on a minute. Oh, I'm getting this song. Oh, I just can't get to the gist of it. Hang on a minute. Free the people from the fire. Actually, that's a Sherbet song. Free the people from the fire. Take the road out on it. Wait and see. Tell the devil he's a liar. Come and hold it till the light's on me. Free the People, that song's called. I'm sure it's called Free the People. It's by Sherbet, Daryl Braithwaite. He's an Australian singer. I'm definitely getting that song today. I think there's a message in that song for us today. That's why this year's so important, guys. Hang on a minute. Let me see if there's something else. Actually, one of you had a good point the other day. We've been talking a bit about Brazil standing up. They've had some huge fightbacks in Brazil. And I have had that song on my video before, that Michael Jackson song, about they don't really care about us. Lick me, shake me, any way you want me. Da 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 da. They don't really care about us. And he's in Brazil, dancing with the people in Brazil. And it was way ahead of his time, wasn't he? I think he was trying to give us a message through that song. I know one of you wrote that to me, and I agree with you. I think Michael Jackson might have been onto something back then. So, we really don't know what goes on in this world sometimes, do we? But that song, if you watch that song, I'm sure it's They Don't Really Care About Us. You'll figure it out. You'll hear the words in that, and it's kind of current to the situation now that they're going through in Brazil. It's interesting. Music tells us a lot sometimes. Just let me see if something to close with. Hang on a minute. I had to shoot this inside today, guys. I needed a little bit of calm without the dogs, the birds, the cats meowing, and the neighbours mowing. It's Sunday morning here, so hang on a minute. I'll see if there's something to close with. Oh, they give me this old song. I don't even know why. It's called My Sharona. My Sharona. My Sharona. Do 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 do. My Sharona. I don't know why we're getting that song. I'm just saying it in case it means something to someone out there. Dropped into my head, so I just have to share it. Hang on a tick. Oh my God, how do the gods, honestly, how do they think of this stuff? You know this song I'm getting? This is the song I'm going to finish with today. Because I think what the gods are trying to say is, they just want us all to get on. They want us all, we don't want to be separated, divided by our governments anymore. And they're giving me that song. Oh, and it reminds me of way back in the day. And it's that YMCA song, remember? YMCA, they're gonna play at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean, you can have a good meal, you can do whatever you feel. I know it was kind of out in the gay era and the AIDS was out and all that kind of thing, but really I'm just thinking it's a song that brings people together, to be quite honest. I mean, that would be a classic kind of LGBTQI song, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't care what anyone is. I know you guys here are very open-minded too. We just want everyone to just get on. So I'm going to leave us with that song, YMCA. Remember we all used to do the dance? Oh, that's such an old song. I think the YMCA used to help homeless people in that, didn't it, as well? I'm pretty sure. They used to have clubs like globally, didn't they, where they'd help people who were not as well off and that kind of thing. Well, maybe that's what the guides are trying to say. People are going to need to head to the YMCA for support because they're not going to financially be able to cope with the crap that's coming at them this year. So I'm going to leave you with that song today, the YMCA. Who sang that? The Village People. Oh my God. Oh my God, what a song. That's so funny. Look, if anything, it's just a great memory for us here. So I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care. Know that one day this will all become the pandemic museum of lies, BS and garbage. Unfortunately, we're just living through that at the moment. So take care, everybody. Hit the like buttons. Keep smiling, keep upbeat, keep being good listeners. And I'll say goodbye from Australia and steer clear of anybody waking up because we know how angry and mad they're going to be. Take care, everyone, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.